Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, on this smashing Sunday for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily market update. And in this one, we're really going to be predominantly focusing on a Forbes digital asset article that talks about the coming $15 trillion tsunami to the cryptocurrency space. And we're going to look at why they are talking about this coming flood of liquidity into the cryptocurrency space through the lens of what Trump, in their opinion, has confirmed. And this idea that we've been talking about on the channel for a while now, and that is this kind of arms race towards digital assets. It's a very, very interesting concept that, of course, is extremely bullish for each and every one of us out there that's speculating on the cryptocurrency space. So what we're going to do to start things off is just very quickly recap on the Bitcoin chart. There's nothing that we really need to say on this that hasn't already been said. Some of you might be new to the channel. What we have here is a confluence of technical targets that all see Bitcoin achieve higher prices. And when something is, for me personally, I'm a technical trader. So if I can see technical merit in something going higher, it's very likely there's going to be fundamental news that's going to accompany that, but you're going to get the news after you can kind of spot the footprints in the sand, if you will. And we've got the fact that Bitcoin is in a very strong uptrend. You can see that very clearly defined by the higher highs and high lows. We've got a cup and handle, we've got an inverse head and shoulders, and we've got a bull flag, all, in my opinion, predicting Bitcoin to sort of go to the upside. And on top of that, I mean, this is kind of ascending, pullbacks or periods of rest you kind of want to see being descending in an uptrend. But I actually think that there's multiple types of wedges. There's about 3 of them, and actually I think this is going to be one that breaks to the upside, although you guys will be right in saying on the smaller time frames, the sort of rising wedges is typically quite bearish. Because we're going to be talking about Trump very quickly, this is all over the news over the past 24 hours. Trump-backed World Liberty Finance crypto investment surge. I wouldn't really call it an investment surge, by the way. It's about $500,000, but it's still, it's about 44 million now, but it's still, and it was only 500,000 over the past 24 hours, but it's still significant. World Liberty Finance, a crypto project associated with Donald Trump's family, has recently invested in several digital assets, including a notable purchase of ENA, which I think is Ethereum name service tokens, with $500,000. If you're listening, Trump, I doubt you are, we can do a better job for you in terms of picking the right cryptocurrencies that this project should be accumulating. I'm just going to throw that out there. You don't have to take me up on my offer. Of course, I'm somewhat joking on all this, not the doing a better job part, but appealing to Trump. He's definitely not watching this video. Since late November, the entity has spent approximately $44.4 million on 5 cryptocurrencies, with significant positions or portions going towards Ethereum, Chainlink, which we've always said would be a rising star. Chainlink is doing, I mean, if you're bullish on crypto, you have to be bullish on Chainlink. Chainlink is a chart, a very good chart for us. And actually, Chainlink is and has been for years now one of my largest positions, and the majority of our accumulation was done sort of during what we look at as accumulation or an accumulative period for the markets, a phase 1 for the markets, breakout, retest, continuation in what is now very obvious phase 2. So Chainlink and Aave. Aave is another great example of what we teach. Do consider becoming a Patreon, guys. Accumulative phase, breakout, retest, or previous resistance now flipped into support, and then real continuation on the back end of this. This activity has sparked market attention and speculation on the potential impact of cryptocurrency valuations. So over the past 7 hours, Trump spent 500,000 USDC to buy 509,000 ENA, which I believe is Ethereum name service. Since November, World Liberty has spent 30 million on Ethereum, 10 million on BTC, which is, I think, Coinbase's BTC. Why they went with Coinbase's BTC, I don't know. There'll be some sort of coalition there, I'm sure. And of course, 2 million on Chainlink, and they've bought some Aave, and now, of course, ENA. So very interesting. The bulk of this video, and I wanted to kind of get that out of the way of, because we'll go back to the charts a little bit, because if they're talking about a $15 trillion Bitcoin, and actually I don't think that's too out of the realms of possibility in my opinion. Gold's market cap today sits at 19 trillion. Bitcoin's market cap is what, 2, perhaps not even. So there's a real multiplier there. You could essentially 10x Bitcoin's market cap and you would just be at gold. So I think in a digital world, Bitcoin really is, I think, playing the role of gold. Now, I do think there's some dangers to that. I think gold is something real, solid and tangible. And yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I can't help but feel like there's a real greater plan to everything going on here, certainly with Bitcoin. And that actually it might, what seems like a kind of liberating technology that's been given to us might actually be the opposite. And I think we tend to find that throughout history, that these kind of games are played. But to stick to the article, Trump confirms Bitcoin reserve plans, 15 trillion price boom predicted. Donald Trump has firmly embraced Bitcoin and crypto this year, as a leak reveals Russia could be about to start a Bitcoin Cold War. We've been talking about this concept for a hell of a long time. The Bitcoin price has rocketed past $100,000 per Bitcoin on the back of Trump's November election, with the chief executive of a major Wall Street giant admitting Bitcoin FOMO. Now, as the influential billionaire warns of a looming debt crisis that could collapse the dollar, Trump has confirmed his plans to establish a US strategic Bitcoin reserve. People still don't understand, and this is written by Forbes. I'm not sure who wrote this article. Billy Bambra, who's the senior, he's a senior contributor to this. People still don't understand. People talk about a dollar collapse. Let me tell you, if Trump had to choose between the dollar and Bitcoin, he's going to choose the dollar all day long. And actually, this technology is going to do more for enabling the fiat systems. If you can't see that yet, I'm afraid you're blind. This technology is going to do more for enabling the fiat systems, this entire movement, than combating them. And it's going to do more for increasing finance and its role in our lives and its surveillance of us than not. And I truly believe that. And that's somebody that loves this industry. I'm a fan of, we it sounds like we're not a fan of Bitcoin, but we truly are. Anyway, let's continue. Trump has confirmed he plans to establish a US Bitcoin strategic reserve. We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, but others are embracing it and we want to be ahead, Trump told CNBC. Yes, I think so. Trump said in response to a question about whether the US will create a Bitcoin strategic reserve similar to an oil reserve. I think it's very likely. I think they're going to try and get to 1 million Bitcoin. Then you've got the institutions. They'll have, they've already got over 1 million Bitcoin just within the US alone. And then you've got to ask the question, okay, well, is Bitcoin this liberating sort of force for the world when the majority of it is actually held with the very people that this technology was trying to liberate us from? And that's why I want to read this article for a number of reasons. This is one of them. In July, then Republican candidate Donald Trump promised to create a strategic Bitcoin national reserve and predicted Bitcoin could eclipse gold's 16 trillion market capitalization during an appearance at the Bitcoin Conference 2024. That was in Nashville. Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis has introduced a bill to Congress entitled to Boosting Innovation, Technology and Competitiveness Through Optimizing Investment Nationwide, Bitcoin Act, which proposes the US buy 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years and reduces the spiraling $13 trillion in debt. How they're going to deal with that debt is through tokenizing it through stablecoins, by the way, not Bitcoin. Russian lawmakers were this week revealed to publish the country to create a Bitcoin strategic reserve after Russia's President Vladimir Putin praised Bitcoin as an alternative to foreign currencies. He didn't. He didn't say it was an alternative to foreign currencies. He said more of a store of value. Reserves following the seizure of its funds by Western governments in response to an invasion in Ukraine. So yeah, he did say actually nobody can stop Bitcoin or take it from you. So the possibilities that Trump follows through on a Bitcoin reserve plan has spurred huge Bitcoin price predictions from Bitcoin traders and investors, boosted by Elon Musk's surprise. If Donald Trump is successful in putting forth a lot of the proposals that he's proposed to the community, the sky is the limit because Bitcoin has a fixed supply. This is from Parain Boring. Ooh, interesting. The founder of Trade Association, the Digital Chamber, told Fox Business Week. The stock to flow model. Oh no, here we are. We're back at plan B. The stock to flow model says it's going to be over $800,000 by the end of next year. Yes, Boring added, which would give Bitcoin a market capitalization of around $15 trillion, up $2 trillion up from $2 trillion currently. Yeah, so interesting prediction there. We are going to see this arms race towards certainly Bitcoin, but more broadly in the control of it. Because if Bitcoin does find its place, and it already is, as a kind of global alternative asset and store of value, there's going to be an arms race on the back end of that. But more broadly, it's not just going to apply to Bitcoin, it's going to apply to this technology. If this technology is going to enable a global financial system, and Bitcoin is going to play the role of a store of value in that, and simply that, and that's my honest belief, then actually there's a need to have a hand in Bitcoin from these countries, but also to have a hand in the actual systems that now are going to control the new world financial systems that's coming, and that is going to undoubtedly, create a boom for everything. Talking about a $15 trillion Bitcoin price, well, we now believe that Bitcoin dominance, and I'm probably going to put this on a 2-weekly, is now going to embark on a journey towards about 40%. So the question that you have to ask is if Bitcoin does get to 15 trillion, you've likely got a larger altcoin market. And that personally is where I think the real opportunity lies. Do consider becoming a patron, guys. We're going to do a lot more work on Bitcoin dominance and what's about to come for altcoins in the coming days. That's it from me. I've rambled on for 11 minutes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm sure many of you are on the same wavelength as I am in regards to actually being very skeptical of what's going on here and not just blindly, believing in the Satoshi myth and the stories that are being told to us, because there's a lot of things that are very not productive, but sort of counter signals to this kind of freedom, libertarian, liberating ideals that have been sort of, dominant in the space. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Have a smashing Sunday, and I'll see you all in the next one.